Hey there, space explorers. Today, we're diving into AI in space exploration. And wow, the stuff you found for this is incredible. It's like we're launching into a sci-fi novel.
Yeah, it really is a fast-moving field, and there's a lot to unpack. It's not just small changes we're seeing. It's a huge change in what's possible out there in space. And that's going to impact the future a lot, in space and here too.
Okay, so before we go too far, let's set the scene. I think when most people think about the space age, they think of Sputnik or the moon landing. It's kind of a nostalgic view of the future.
Yeah, for sure. But what we are seeing now with AI, it takes us way beyond those first missions. It's like Space Age 2.0 with AI leading the way.
I like that. Space Age 2.0. One of the articles you shared showed this really well, especially the part about astronauts training in these super realistic VR situations. Like they are actually there, and it's all powered by AI. Can you imagine getting ready for a Mars mission and actually feeling like you're there on Mars?
That's what spatial computing can do. It combines AI and virtual reality and creates these amazing immersive experiences. And this isn't some far-off idea, it's happening now. These simulations, they can copy the Martian environment, like the gravity, the light, even that feeling of being isolated that you'd get out there.
So you're not just learning the technical stuff, but also getting ready for the mental challenge of being so far from Earth. It's one thing to read about it, but another to really live it.
Exactly. And having it feel that real is so important for astronaut training, especially on those longer missions where the psychological part is even more important.
And talking about missions, this is where AI starts to feel less like some cool gadget and more like a vital part of the crew, almost like having another mind there in mission control.
Definitely. Think about all the data that a space mission generates.
Yeah.
Telemetry, sensor readings, images. It's just a flood of information, way too much for us humans to analyze in real time.
Yeah.
But AI is made for that. It's like its natural language.
So while we're here enjoying our coffee, AI is up there working away, analyzing everything, and keeping things running smoothly.
Exactly. AI can process this huge amount of data, find patterns we might miss, and even make important decisions so much faster than any of us humans could. Think about it, a spacecraft needing to navigate through a debris field or even do small repairs on its own. That's AI in action.
Wow, it's like having a super smart co-pilot who never needs a break. And speaking of the future, one article mentioned robots and drones in space. That feels like science fiction coming to life.
It is an area with so much potential. And forget those old clunky robots. We're talking about really complex machines with advanced sensors. And really importantly, they can learn and make choices on their own thanks to AI.
So we could send these AI robots to places that would be way too dangerous or even impossible for humans to go.
Exactly. Imagine a robot exploring the surface of Mars, collecting samples, doing experiments, all without needing instructions from Earth all the time.
That's incredible. It's like those deep sea robots that go to the ocean floor, but this on a whole other level. We can explore the unknown without risking human lives. But it's more than just exploration, right? AI could be essential in building a future for humanity in space, beyond just visiting.
You're right. Think about AI-controlled robots, building habitats on other planets, setting up infrastructure, basically laying the foundation for humans to live there. We wouldn't just visit space anymore. We're talking about living there.
It's like we're stepping right out of science fiction and into a future where we're building a home among the stars. And AI is the key.
It's a tool, yeah, a powerful tool that can make it possible for humans to live in space long term. AI robots, they could, 3D print structures using stuff they find there, put together modules that are already made, even get resources from the environment around them. And all this, we barely need to supervise, even from millions of miles away.
So instead of one giant leap, AI is building the staircase for us.
Yeah, in a way, it makes the idea of living and working on the moon or Mars even further out, much more realistic.
Wow. It's a total change from can we even get there to what can we do when we get there? And all this talk of building a future in space makes you think about money. Space isn't cheap, is it?
It's expensive, yeah, but it's also an investment. The space economy, it's growing incredibly fast. Some people say it could hit $1.8 trillion by 2035.
Trillion with a T. That's a crazy amount of money. What's driving that? Is it AI?
Definitely. When you bring AI together with the progress in cheaper space travel like SpaceX with their reusable rockets,
Hmm.
it opens up so many opportunities. And it's not just governments funding missions anymore. private companies want in on this.
So are we talking companies mining asteroids, building solar power stations in space, stuff that used to be pure science fiction?
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just the huge companies like SpaceX. AI and space tech are becoming more accessible, so now startups and entrepreneurs with new ideas have a shot. It's like a gold rush. But the gold is the potential of space.
A gold rush in space? I like it. But this innovation, it doesn't just stay up in space, right? There are benefits for us down here on Earth too, right?
Oh, absolutely. One area is satellite tech.
Mm.
Imagine satellites that have AI so they can change their orbits themselves to avoid crashing or manage their own systems to send data in the best way.
So faster internet, thanks to AI in space. Now that's a space program I can get behind. But it shows how far this tech goes. It's not just about rockets and astronauts. It's changing how we see space, explore it, even do business out there.
It's about pushing the limits of what's possible, changing how we think about our place in the universe. And AI is right there at the front of that change.
It's amazing to think we started talking about robots on Mars, and now we're talking about AI satellites making our internet faster. Feels like we've traveled light years in such a short time. But for those of us who aren't planning on hopping on that next SpaceX launch, what does it all really mean for us back here on Earth?
It's easy, to think about space exploration as something way out there,
Mm.
something that doesn't really affect us in our everyday life. But that's not really true at all, is it?
Right.
When we explore space, we push the limits of technology, and those breakthroughs, they always have a ripple effect. That's how we get innovations that help everyone.
It's like all those unexpected things that came from NASA missions. I mean, we have space exploration to thank for memory foam and scratch-resistant glasses. Who would have thought those came from aiming for the stars?
Exactly. And the progress that AI is driving in space is going to have a similar impact, maybe even bigger.
Mm.
When we try to understand the universe and where we fit in, we end up making these discoveries that touch every part of our lives.
It's like that feeling you had as a kid looking up at the stars, but now we're starting to realize that we can actually reach out and explore those places. It's kind of humbling and exciting at the same time.
It really is. We are really on the edge of something big here, a whole new age of discovery, one where AI isn't just a tool, but like a partner in exploration. And who knows what we might find? Maybe the biggest discoveries won't be about other planets, but about us, about humanity's place in all of this.
Makes you want to dust off that old telescope, doesn't it? Or even just look up at the night sky and feel that sense of wonder again.
Yeah, we could all use a little more of that. Just keep looking up and don't ever stop asking, what if?
Words to live by, especially now with AI taking us further than ever before. This has been an amazing journey, a real deep dive into the future of space. Thanks for exploring with us.